Insurance. We look out for you, so you can look out for them.
Okay. Welcome to the Tannat Show. I'm your host, Howard O'Brien. Every Thursday, we will be here with you. And tonight, I am Fred Flintstone, so I'm your Tannat Stone. His hair got out of whack. I don't know what the hell happened to this thing. It didn't look like this when I bought it. Anyways, welcome to the Tannat Show every Thursday for a beautiful 10 minutes of you never know what. There's the Tannat Show, and there we go. So I'm your FT, Fred Tannat tonight. So I hope everybody's doing good. We see Mr. Delaney on this evening. I saw you became a subscriber today. That's and Yats on here as well. Angry Todd, Wilma. I know we need Wilma. Wilma's not here right now. She's taking care of her mom out of town. And my hair does look like Elvis, actually. Maybe I did grab the Elvis one instead because I do have an Elvis costume as well. Nellie's on here. Nellie's on here as well. So anyways, I don't know everybody, but thanks for tuning in tonight. Hope everybody's doing good this evening. And, we got several different segments here, traditionally 4, and we talk about them. The first one is what's happening at the winery and the vineyard. And we will be starting our winter pruning. You have a big group tonight. I know, Brian. And we start our winter pruning this week, tomorrow, as well as the other sites. So that will be great. And we're going to try to time it perfectly this year. We've had enough moisture, which we didn't have last year, even though it didn't hurt us, but we still needed a little bit. And this is the time of year we really want it. We don't want it too much when, God, we're only a couple months away from bud break. Can you believe that time moves on? Couple months from bud break. Holy shit. God, the Flintstones are running crazy. So anyways, we're not there yet, but that's why winter pruning's kicking in at all 3 of my sites. So really, the winery this time of year, we got a lot of events and music happening this month. And we got great music next Sunday with Robbie Lyman, and a special thing for members that will be coming out Sunday for Super Bowl Sunday. A little contest, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So anyways, that's kind of what is going on at the winery this month. And just kind of doing my thing still. And we're open as normal. Hopefully the snow will stay away. And it didn't affect us too much. Actually, in January, we dodged some bullets. And if it's on the weekends, which one of them was, it didn't do too much damage. People still did come. So that's good. Yes, we have another Tannat vertical. Because why? Is because I normally can only do one, but we broke it up between 2 for 10 people because of the number of glasses. Yeah, Robbie Lyman is great. Howard, I hope you can come. What? Absolutely. Yep. Who's Howard? I hope you can come. So what was I saying? I got caught off track here. So anyways, the Tannat vertical, I have to do 2 because of the number of glasses that we use and the number of years. And another good thing is a client of mine, great story. It's not part of my story at the winery, but it could be actually. And I have another funny one I want to tell. So he's Jim is his name. He's 93 years old. He lives in Gainesville. And just a wonderful guy. And he was one of my very, very first clients that came with the wine group where he lives. And Rob Howard, I met him. Rob, you did. That's right. Rob was there. Just a wonderful guy. And he came with his significant spouse and another person. And we went down, another couple, and we went down to the private cellar. And we just had a great story. He's heartwarming. And, he's just said some very kind things to me because he's been coming for such a long time. And he was when I first made the Tannat 2005, was my first year. I only made like 50 cases. And he bought a case and he still has some. So over time, he would give me one or whatever, but I've been seeing him in a while. But we ran into each other over in Gainesville, me and Judy, and it was just fun to see him. And he's still getting around well. He actually drove to the winery, and he's a very sharp guy. And he gave me 2 bottles of '05 because I was out for the next vertical. He's got a couple more left, and I told him when he passes away, I'm going to dive through his basement cellar and grab the other 3. And he laughed. He said, "No, you don't have to do that. I'm in his will." He put the wines in the will with some other wines that we collect, exactly, and that he is collected over time. And he told me, and it's very nice of him to do it. And he told me he has a case, and it wouldn't surprise me. He was a doctor, and he was really into wine. He told me he's got a case of 1982 Chateau Petrus. 1982. That's a 100-point year. Those bottles got to be worth $5, $6, $8, $9, $10,000 a bottle. But he just reached out to me today and invited me and Judy over to share one of them and another one. And those are so. I have a few myself, but they're ridiculously expensive. Got it. And Rob just signed up for the Tannat Vertical. So I'm down to 8 more spots. It were actually 4 more couples, and then I am done. But I am done. 15,000. It wouldn't surprise me. It's got to be 15,000. And he's got some other older ones too. And he said he was looking for the Tannat, and he kind of forgot that he have it, even though he knows he has it, but he didn't realize how much. So I'll be looking forward to that because I've not had that for a while. And that was certainly one of the 100-point years with 1961. So anyways, that's kind of that, what's going on. And so that's related to the Tannat. I can do the '05. So that's why I can't do as many people, because it's so limited in so many glasses, and we do it in the fireplace room. So I know a few people here had come to that, I believe. So, yeah, and Bob didn't meet him. He saw the 2 bottles. Robert met him. Rob Delaney met him. And he saw the box that he brought him in and met the guy. And he was just a wonderful, pleasant man. And it was joy to see him last year. It was a good, memorable time for me. So I like that. He does look great for his age, 93. It's amazing how good he does look. Really good. And so that's kind of the beauty of the Chateau O'Brien and those things. Now, related to the story I was going to tell, and that's related to the book that I am writing, the seller's bestseller. That is crazy things that happened in the winery. And I'm sure Bob Sangreet will be in here someday, but I won't be able to sell the book until I am done with the winery, whenever that may be. But some crazy stories, good stories, just wonderful stories. So, so when we stay at the winery once in a while, even though I haven't too much lately. We were talking to a few people about that recently. We got a more moving to Haymarket, we're closer. So anyways, one time I was there, God, this was a while ago. And even before I met Judy, and I was there by myself, and down at the bottom of the hill, we have, the people that live there, but there's another home. If you ever asked me to show it to you, I don't even know how anybody lived there, down at the other end, the opposite way. And it actually had an outhouse still, believe it or not. And the people that lived there, the guy was okay. He never bothered me. He was very kind to me. Can't wait to sell the book until you're done with the line. Why can't you? Because there's some crazy stuff in there, and I don't want, to be publicized, and then people come to the winery just for that. That's why I don't. And my my good friend at Simon and Sleester, which is the vice president, of one of the biggest publishing firms, he told me not to either, because he read some of the things already, and he's going to help me with it, put it together. So, and plus, there's a lot more. Be honest with you, and actually, in other wineries now, I've been asked to have a section for crazy things that happened at other wineries in Virginia. So I'm going to put that together as well. So, and that's kind of a new chapter that I'm adding to that. So it's growing a little bit. This shit itches the hell out of me. So, anyways, this little thing right there, man. So, anyways, can you read a little bit of the book to your loyal tonight watchers? No, what I do is I tell the stories every week of one of the stories that I put in there. So you can go back to some of my stories and you will see them. But I've told some people ones that I can't tell on that in person that I can't tell because they're too crazy. So, anyways, back to you, loyal tonight. Can you read a little from the book to your local? No, I tell the stories, Bob, that is going to be in the book. So the one I'm going to tell tonight is when I was staying at the winery one night, and I was by myself, and I had probably 3-4 years in, and all of a sudden, man, I heard helicopters, and that's not uncommon out there because of Mount Weather, but it was like lit up like it was in the middle of the day. Police cars everywhere, FBI agents down at the bottom. I could see them because it was in the fall and the leaves were off. So the crazy guy that lived down at the bottom, further down, not the ones right near the beginning, when you come up to the winery, he had been arrested a couple times, and I don't really know the full thing. He was always kind to me, but apparently he was growing Sean Dodd nice hair. Exactly. And so thing itches, man. So, anyways, he was growing marijuana, and it was crazy because it wasn't too far. It was a little further over, actually, on Stribling's property, the apple orchard. He had a little patch, but he had put like these bells or something. So if anybody was walking in there, he would do it. They would notify him. He would hear it. So I guess they were doing kind of a sting on him, and he heard somebody going through there with the bells and stuff going off. So he went out there with a shotgun and shot at an FBI agent. He did not hit him. But he shot at an FBI agent, and they were down there like you can't believe. And that's where all the helicopters came, the lights, the trucks, and everything. And they never did come up to the winery and ask me anything. They may have not known I was there. Exactly, because the gate, the chain, and everything were there. So it was crazy. I didn't hear the shotgun go off because you hear them all the time, and it was kind of a winterish kind of time, so everything was shut for me. But it was crazy. I was scared shitless, actually. And then they departed over time, but he did get arrested. The people in the post office told me, which is our town hall at the bottom, they told me he got arrested. So, anyways, I saw a picture, by the way, today in the post office when I was getting that mail. And right at the bottom of the hill, there is a picture of the post office. It used to be a general store too, with a horse wrapped. They drive up to in the Western days, and they have that thing in the front. I don't even know what you call it, where you tie the horses. The leather straps or whatever on the front, and then they go in. There's a couple of pictures of that. There were a couple of horses strapped to the things, and they were from the Green family across the street before 66 was put in 1980. The hitching post, yeah, probably the hitching post. That's a good one, Robert. And you should go in there sometime. On the weekends, they're open till 12 noon. They got some great pictures in there of the old days. And that one I'd not seen before. So that really caught my eye. But, 66 was not there until about 1980-ish. And they did eminent domain because they owned all that area. So I thought that was very educational. So anyways, with that. So for tonight's show, And some of the people tasted it before, but one of the bottles are bad. So I finally got my shipment of Argentina wine that is a very good friend of mine from Argentina. They have no physical placements in the United States, so I'm working it out with them because I have a license to do that. And I tasted the Syrah, which was off the last time I tasted it. And but the blend, the 2014 Reserva, was given the award of the best barrel aged blend in Argentina. And I'm the only one that's selling it in the United States. So very difficult. 2014, 2015 Syrah, and 1999. I mean, you can't ask for that. 1999. And I got it in Monday, actually. I tasted it with a few people they bought. I sold probably a case already of the amount I got. And then somebody came back and bought some more that lives down the road because it said it's a great bottle of wine for $19.99 that is very drinkable. And the other one is 2 years, and then both of them are 2 years in the French oak barrel. And because of the Syrah I tasted at the one time with Bob and everybody, it was a little off. And the other wasn't off, but it wasn't. And I talked to him, and it could happen at any bottle at any time. And I only had 2 bottles anyways. And I think it was actually my fault because I remember going to his house in the Outer Banks near me, and he gave me a couple bottles, and I left it in my truck for probably a week because I kind of forgot about it. So I probably did it myself because when I had it at his house and when I've had this, when we got it the other day, it does not taste like that at all. At all. So, and hopefully you want to buy some, come on out. A 1999, you can't beat it. I'll taste it for you if you want. And it's a great drinking wine. I had some tonight, actually. And that's what we're tasting tonight. We are going to taste the 2014 Syrah. This is the 2015 Syrah. 2015. Yeah, I know it can happen with any corked wine. In my signature Regal glass, it was a full bottle. This is so different than when I tasted it. I could tell it was a little off just with the coloring alone. It was, but not this one. And I like a good Syrah. Wow. A lot of dark currant coming in, dark blueberry, a lot of dark fruit happening on this one. And that's a traditional Syrah, as you know. Yep, it's a 2015 Argentina. Very difficult. I am interested in some of the Syrah. Yeah, it's very good. Eileen, you can reach out to me tomorrow, and whatever you want, we'll work it out, and I'll get it to you. You let me know. $19.99. $19.99. That's what it is. Great price. I'm buying it for me to drink too with Judy. This is a great everyday drinking wine. The character of this. Definitely some tannin structure. Still holding it. The coloring is really bold, big, really bold. What the hell is this? People text me now. They don't go on here. Yeah, that's me, Sean. Who is that? Maybe I'll be a concert. I'll do a concert next year with my people are laughing at my hair. They're sending stuff in about my hair. I don't know what happened to it. It's Fred Flintstone's hair. So Argentina Syrah 15. The 14 Grand Reserve, 2 years in a French oak barrel, the winner. And I have the 13 as well. He was able to send me some of those as well. So I have both. Call you tomorrow. Want some? Yeah. Eileen, reach out to me tomorrow. Brian, reach out to me tomorrow if you want any. And in 1999, it'll probably go quick once I start tasting it a little bit. It would kind of be a regular thing. So I'll definitely be able to get it for you. So for the competition tonight, you will get a bottle of the Grand Reserva 2014. Grand Reserva 2014. If you can guess this, the first one that I see, not on my phone, on the screen. No, I got to do it on my phone because some people can't be on the screen. So whenever I get it first, you will win a bottle of the 2014 Argentina, the Grand Reserva, and it's the blend. So whatever the first I see on my phone or in front of me, and I'll wait for that. Okay, everybody? I got to do my little things. I like those. So it took me about 5 months to figure it out. But, anyways, so what is the major grape in Argentina? Really? I thought this one would be easy. Bob Sanglit got it. Malbec is the predominant grape. They do grow the others, but the predominant grape that made them popular in Argentina, just like Chile with Caminir, even though they do other things, and are certainly in Uruguay too, Tannat, but they do other things. But it is Malbec. Malbec is the most common grape in Argentina. And so, Bob, you get a bottle of the 2014 Grand Reserva. Share it with you, Brian. Good. We like to share with everybody. I feel stupid yet? No, yes. No, you don't feel stupid. No. Hey, you guessed whatever. Cabernet grows them. Bob, you finally won. But also Cabernet is very commonly grown there as well, because no, not Lambrusco. Let me see here. Yeah, it does have Cabernet in it. So Cabernet is pretty common, and this is in the Patagonia region, which is in one of the betters near the Andes. I'm just looking at a little bit of other stuff here, making tell you here, but really great wine for the price. But that really is different than before. Wow, that Syrah is very nice. Very nice. Whew, a lot more tannin structure. Apple wine. Nellie's drinking apple wine. Sure, she is. You know me, I don't like the apple wine. I love selling the hell out of it though. So, anyways, anybody have any questions for me tonight other than my hair looks stupid? Anybody got any questions? Any questions? I will answer them. Anybody? Somebody's always got to ask me questions, right? Bob, I'm drinking Tannat Rosé, one of my favorites. Steve, I would think it would be Riesling since 1945. What, Steve? I have no idea what you're talking about, partner. I need one. Bad hair. VT. What's VT, honey? Judy's online. Todd, we have our own bottling line. So we bottle when the wine is ready for us. We don't use the portable bottling line company. I know there's not many people that have a bottling line, but I've had one since I first opened up, and I upgraded to a new bottling line about 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, probably 4 years ago. So we bottle when the wines are ready. And we just did some bottlings of our 21, actually, where most people are already sold out of their 21s. We just bottled of some of our 21s and some of our 20s, actually, or not 20s, 21s, which are over 2 years in a French oak barrel. So we just finished most of them, and that's been in the last couple of weeks or so. So that is the advantage of quality. When you use the portable one, you're at the mercy of their schedule and you're affected. And I tried it at the beginning, and it did not go well. The wine can be affected, and you can be affected, and it's another level of quality, expensive level of quality. But you bottle the wine when it's ready at the time that's ready, and my staff loves it. So having one of your own bottling lines is one of the biggest things, but it's not a cheap venture for people. It's not. But we do one event a year for members or anybody that wants to come when we bottle, and you can see the whole experience and when we're really bottling it. And then you get to take a bottle of wine home with you, even though we don't put labels on it because we're not releasing it for 5 to 6 years afterwards. That's why we don't have to worry about it. But 90% or plus of the wineries they're already sold out of their 21s and probably even some of their 22s. You'd probably be seeing 23s not too long. But for me, you're not going to see those are still in barrels, and 22s are still in barrels. 21 just got bottled. So that isn't a question, it's a statement. How long are you? That's a question. When do you start pruning? I said it earlier, Bob. Right, we started today a little bit. We started today a little bit, and that will be going on for a period of time. What's that? Here's one. What is the advantage of a cork compared to synthetic corks? This is just my philosophy. Natural corks are proven. Sure, they can go bad like anything else over time. They can break down. However, research, technology has reduced the tainting of natural cork, and you know what you're going to get from it. Aging wine in a long time with a synthetic or a screw cap or what have you. What happens is then you don't know the long-term effects of this contact of the wine, of the juice with that, if it can affect it or not. So we prefer not to. Who does my artwork, Carl? It is we do our artwork, but we've been using the same labels pretty much since the beginning with some new changes. And then the company I use is out of New York, in Endicott, New York, called Wine Labels, and they just got bought and called MPI. And I've been using those for a long time. But we designed the label, and then they put it together for us with what we want. So the pruning. So going back to the pruning, Bob, the pruning, is continuous. Ultimately, we're going to touch the vines 3 times in the vineyard. It's a lot more work than most people. We do single cane and shoot management. We don't do spur pruning. We do single cane and shoot management. So we only have one to keep concentration, which is a lot of work. We'll do one, go back another, and then we'll wait for about 2 weeks before we call it the blood or the water starts coming through the vines, and then we'll go back and do our final one. And that's about 2 weeks before bud break. It's a lot of stress at that point, and it's a lot of work. And the better wineries in the world are doing that. Most people are dealing with their vines 3 times during the winter pruning, but it's another level of quality that we do. And there's a lot more to it than what I'm saying, but it's also preventative at the end. You don't want to cut them all the way down before the blood's fully starting moving in the water, because if a frost comes, you can be affected drastically, or if it gets too cold. So it's another level of protection that you have to do, but it's a lot of work. But single cane and shoot management, that's a lot of extra work. A lot of people don't do that. They don't do it. Let me see. Your corks have been absolutely perfect. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on corks. I upgraded from 2009 up because I saw the trend of us aging it longer, and I saw the trend of my clients aging it longer. So my corks are intact. They're not cheap, though. I spend a lot of money on my corks, particularly from that time on, where the better wineries probably will or do. Did I answer your question about the synthetic corks versus the regular corks? I'm a natural byproduct. I like natural products, so that kind of stays in place. Go talk to Burgundy, Bordeaux, or the big wineries in Napa. They're not going to use synthetic, not for their expensive wines, because they know what the cork does. I don't know yet, but we don't do it by bottles. We do it by cases, but it will be a bigger load than my normal 2,800 or plus. We had a huge year with that, huge, and stuff came up fully online. I do, Bob. I get my corks from Portugal, and we get them. And when I went to Portugal on my river cruise a couple years ago, I took some of my members to where they, make the corks and stuff. And I did learn something there. The trees are very interesting, and if you ask me, I'll show you I'll show you the cork. And I did it years ago. They take this like sickle thing and they peel the cork off, and then they have to do a lot of processing of it. And Judy and me, and I don't know if any of the members that were with me or clients there, they actually went with us. We did a tour to see the trees, which are all over the place, and then we went to some of the factories. And I did learn a lot of things. They don't call it cork, like we say wine corks, they call it stoppers because they make so much out of cork. I mean, it's amazing that they don't just make it. You think they're just making it for wine bottle corks, but no, it's amazing. And they showed us how they did the whole process and the processing of it and what they do, and they don't waste anything. I tried to ask for some stuff, and they didn't have any. They take all the extra stuff they trim off that we saw them doing, and they use it and they put it in these huge, huge bags. And I said, "What are those for?" And they said the oil companies buy them. They use them for spillage. So if there's a leak or something like that, and they throw it in the water and it absorbs it, they become magnets to it, and they grind them up and they do it, which is very interesting. So they use everything of that natural product, and you can't use once they take the cork off the cork off the trees. They can't use them for 9 years. It takes 9 years for them to grow back, and they mark them. And it's very interesting. You would think of how they still do it the old way. They take a little axe and the sickle to do it. And I said, why don't you use lasers and stuff? And they said they've tried them for years because the outside of the tree is not the bark. The cork is not the bark. The bark is underneath the cork. So they take the cork off, which is like an apple to an apple tree, and then they take this I'm going to call it a little axe. Judy saw it, and they just keep hitting through the cork till they hit the bark. Then they stop, and they know where to go, how to get to they know what level, how far they need to go to get that cork off the tree. And that's how they do it still, the old fashioned way. And so the bark is not what the cork is that's on the outside that I thought it was. It looked like it was. So the inside of it is the bark. In the cork is just like the piece of the fruit, I guess you would, for an example, to describe it. And then it's underneath that is the bark, and then it regrows over the top of that, which is really fascinating. It was really impressive to me to see that. So that's not the particular factory I get my corks from, because they go through a co-op, and I get those, and it's called Lafitte, which is one of the better companies in the world, actually. Yeah, and it was fascinating, Freddie. It really was. So a lot of good questions tonight. I got a smart group here. Well, anyways, I think I went well over my time limit tonight, which is okay. So let me see here. Okay. Don't play the ad. Where is it? There we go. There's Fred Flintstone again. Everybody, God bless and drink tonight. Hope to see you soon. You want any of these wines? Come, you let me know. Come on out. You can't sell or retire. I'm not there yet. God bless everybody. Drink tonight. Hope to see you soon. Cheers.